Jose, do you think the result was because of the changes you made in the lineup?
No, I don't think. I think the result was because we started very well and we didn't stop until we closed the game. When the team plays well, it's easier to have good individual performances. So I don't think it was because of the changes.
Did you sense it, Colin, in the build-up to the game?
What?
Did you sense the performance and the conviction?
I'm always positive. Today I was not more positive than other matches. We work so much and so well that my expectations for every game are always high. I'm always positive. I always think that the team is going to play very well. So today we started well. I know that we score 3 goals in corners, which is not normal. But I think what led to that, the intensity of our pressure, the way we control their counter-attack, the way we react every time we were losing the ball. I think Zlatan played so well in terms of the organization of the attack, and then the young kids, they were really fast and aggressive, attacking spaces. I think was a good performance.
How big a decision was it to not play with your captain, and how did Wayne receive that news?
You know, my captain is my captain. If he's on the pitch, if he's at home, he's my captain. So that's not a problem. But we saw today against a team like Leicester, the way they defend, the profile of their defenders, we thought that the best solution for us was to play with the 2 fast kids and with Mata in a position where he can interact with these young kids, so and well for us.
Jose, Pogba had these probably what you could say is his best game so far, would you say?
I don't know, I think he played okay against Southampton, he played okay against Hull City. When the team played not so well, he didn't play so well. When the team plays better, he plays better. Obviously, we all want more from him and from the team. I think the last thing that the team achieve is consistency, because I think the process starts with playing well in spaces, and the last thing that you achieve is to play well consistently. So he has to be also more consistent like the team. But I think him and Under, both in midfield, they were good. They were a good complement, and again, Under is a kid that brings intensity in the pressure, and I felt that also by the defensive point of view. Today was important to have fast people on the pitch to recover a team that is very direct in their counter-attack with lots of long balls and people arriving from behind. So we changed the team to play against Leicester with the specific qualities they have.
Just back on Wayne.
Just one, please.
What were the reasons? What were your reasons for leaving him out? Is it a case of his form?
You know, my reasons are, if I don't play Rashford, you ask me why. If I don't play Lingard, you ask me why. And you prefer always to ask why somebody is not playing. You know, sometimes when I read you, I feel that I know nothing about football. But there is one thing I know, the rules of the game. And I only can start with 11. Until somebody tells me there is a change on that, I only can start with 11.
Just on Herrera again, Jose, you had a difficult season last season, but you think he can be really effective for you in that position? He does look like he's been really...
I like him. I like him. That's why I think he played with me almost every match. Sometimes start, sometimes on the bench. But he's a player that I always liked when we were in Spain together at the same time in the same La Liga. So I know him very, very well. So the fact that last season was not a happy season for him doesn't mean I don't like him. So I like him a lot.
Jose, do you think that people have forgotten because at the start of the season that you have to build something, that you can't expect just to start winning immediately, even though you've paid a lot of money for players and you've brought big stars in. It's a process.
No, the reality is that I was the one with the aggressive approach in terms of my words, but I told that I want to play for the title because this is the approach that I think Manchester United demands. Was not because I thought it was going to be an easy task. I could be much more defensive in my words and saying exactly what you are saying, even more. But I decided to go in another way, and I don't regret that because I think this is the way we have to think. But of course, there is a process, and some guys they adapt better. For example, BE comes from a different competition, different dimension of club. African player, not experienced at this level, and then he comes and he looks very comfortable playing at this dimension in such a big club. Other guys is different for them, but I think what really is more difficult for them is the fact that myself and Mr. Van Gaal, we think football in a different way. So it's normal that in their brains, in their football brains, there are still moments of contradiction between what they were used to do and what I want them to do. And there's also a factor that I know for sure that plays a role, which is the fact that in the recent past they were not successful. And they know the responsibility to play for this club, they know the expectations. When the things are not going well, when you have one bad result, or in this case 3 bad results, and knowing the profile of you media in this country, I think that's where they feel. That's where they feel. But
Okay, last question.
Sure, Mkhitaryan injured.
I wouldn't say injured. I would say not 100%. And when they are not 100%, I always think that this kind of difficult moments where you really feel that you have to win the match, I prefer always to go with players 100% ready by the physical point of view, 100% ready by the mental point of view. So injured was Martial and Phil Jones, and Phil still to stay for a few more weeks. All the others is that grey zone between being fit or being injured, and the decision was to go with people that was ready for it.
Okay, guys, thank you.
No, you can't ask because it's just not.
Thank you.